Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for September 15th to the 21st of 2024. So our quote for the week says, "Honor your future by readying yourself for change." Deep breath. Some of you may have seen this quote on that cement female in a yoga position cracking open from the inside out with light shooting out of her body. We are being cracked open, y'all. And if you don't change willingly, then the universe is going to make it happen for you. And sometimes that's a mixed blessing. So let's look at what we really need to change on the ground in our bodies, Virgo side, as well as our imaginations and what we believe to be true or possible on the Pisces side. So these eclipses are in full effect this week. In the meantime, cracking the ancestral code is here, y'all. The registration link is up and running. I will say that Ye's website is getting updated and upgraded, and it's going to be the bomb once it's done. So please forgive us if you've been going over to her site and having any trouble. It will be up and running any day now. In the meantime, the cracking the code links go to Eventbrite, so that's not too hard. You can go find the descriptions and dates and everything there. If you have never done it, then you qualify for level 1, which is remembrance, reverence, and resilience through ancestral storytelling. And so we are going to get together and learn the basics around ancestral reverence. It actually ends up being quite a healing journey for you, the individual, no matter what you decide to do about your ancestors. Some people do it in a very, light, friendly way, and they just kind of want to learn, but others are going very deep. And when you start this work, when you start this path of understanding that you are here to break some of these negative patterns for the last 7 generations and the next 7 generations, it can get pretty deep. But there's so much healing and wisdom and understanding that you get when you start doing this digging. It's so powerful. And we do it annually, so if this year doesn't work for you, that's fine. But for everyone else that's been waiting, I got a whole bunch of you. When is it going to start? When's the link going to be ready? Come on, y'all. Let's get this registration underway. I'll be getting this classroom all set up. A couple of you have already started registering. We do have some signups. But in order to pull this off, we need everyone who said they wanted to do it to come on and do it. So let's go. Ye says that storytelling is the grandmother of the church, the school, and the theater. Our ancestors defined the sacred, explained our origins, and recounted the history of our lineages through vibrant story sharing. These stories help us to claim our inheritance, to incorporate the wisdom of our ancestors into our daily activity, and to carry that power out into the future. Ashe. That is exactly what happens too. You find yourself, as much as you're digging about ancestors and trying to learn about your lineage and what's going on there, you so learn more about yourself. And you start to feel more whole because you're integrating wisdom that is already in your DNA. We just need to activate it. So join us for Cracking the Code 1 if you are new to the game. I have mentioned this before from last year, and a couple of people from 2022 I added to the list, just like 5 of you. So there's a good 60 that qualify for level 2, where we go even deeper into radical self-acceptance through actually healing the ancestral wounds. So the thing is, you have to learn the basic protocols and protections before you go deeper into the actual healing work. Not that you won't get a whole lot of healing done for yourself in Cracking the Code 1, but Cracking the Code 2, we go a lot deeper. In this one, we gather information and contemplate the conditions around our ancestors, like what time was it for them, what year, what zone, what city were they in, all that. We start to think about their circumstance to really understand how they made their choices. And we start to define what we call category 2 or B-list ancestors. They're the ones that need elevation and need healing. Or if you feel like you are still experiencing the really hard ramifications of family wounding or, even social wounding, then we always start with you. We get you healed up and strong before you even go deeper with the ancestors. But now you will learn how to do that and even deeper protections and all that. So those of you who took it last year that want to keep it going, that really responded to the community, because we do form really strong bonds in this class. It's deep, okay? And want to go deeper, come on, level 2 is waiting for you. We start the first Saturday in October, and it runs 8 Saturdays through October and November. We end right before Thanksgiving, and we take a little break, and we're going to come back with a big production at winter solstice. So many things are culminating, and so many things are preparing to be conceived at winter solstice. So we are in that zone, y'all, approaching a new year and a new way of expressing everything that we've learned in the last year. But those are our big fall classes for now. After cracking the code, you'll notice I took the Cook, Cure, and Conjure out of the blog for this week because they pushed the dates back. That does not start until after cracking the code later in November. It's going to kind of overlap for the last week. So I'll bring that back around in October to make sure. But there's early bird registration and those links still work. And so if you have been on the fence about Cook, Cure, and Conjure, then you might want to go check out that page when you get a chance. Meantime, our forecast kicks off on Sunday, the 15th, with Venus trining Jupiter. Now, here's the two benefactors in an easy angle. This is a pretty sweet way to start the week, especially with an eclipse on its heels. This energy is generally delightful, albeit fleeting. It's a very fast-moving energy. So we only have, like, on those ones, I say work it the day before, the day of, and the day after, and that's the zone of power. It offers an excellent opportunity to engage in social activities and relish relaxed, easygoing moments without any pressure. It might incline you towards idleness or indulgence, particularly if these tendencies already exist within you. However, if you are accustomed to a hectic pace, this energy permits a pause, a chance to unwind without the usual pressure to constantly produce results. Take this time to savor life's pleasures, whether by indulging in leisurely activities or reflecting on your personal achievements, by acknowledging your own journey's milestones. This is a good checkpoint around your values and your beliefs. It is an auspicious period for travel, vacations, and brief getaways. This energy often brings forth deserved blessings, prompting gratitude toward the forces that guided you to this juncture in your life. So Ashe, let's bring in those blessings. Now the big news of the week, not that we don't have other activations to follow, but this is the first of 7 eclipses in the Virgo Pisces zone. Now, the signs are going to mix up, Virgo and Pisces, but 6 out of these 7 are full moon lunar eclipses. So again, with this vibration of ending that we're feeling, that is an ending to a 20-year cycle that we did talk about on that audio, which is linked below. So just a reminder here that we're going through supermoons in 24 that fall in Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. And 6 months from now, we will initiate some very clean new slates with supermoons that fall in Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So see how we're kind of moving along the zodiac in order here. 2024 brought them in Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. 2025 is going to bring them in Aries, Taurus, Gemini. This is supermoons where the alignment is a little stronger and more exact. The pull on our waters is a little more intense. And in this case, we can see the full moon as appearing to be much, much bigger and closer. So get under the sky this week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, is when it'll look its biggest. So these supermoons that fall in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini continue the evolution, but they also bring that intensity to new departments of life. This one coincides with the first in a series of 7 eclipses that will fall on the Virgo-Pisces axis. 6 of 7, like I said, are full moon lunar eclipses, which means we're going to experience some major endings, completions, and clearings that have to do with our daily physical and spiritual practices, how we manage our lives and operate in our day-to-day rhythms. And we are at the end of an era in so many ways, on so many levels, that these eclipses make it very personal and require us to make changes on a very individual basis. But that micro is connected to the macro level. Let's keep that in mind. I put in here the big cycles. Life path and direction is the North Node in Pisces. It's a 20-year cycle from 25 to 45. Reality and purpose is Saturn in Pisces, a 30-year cycle, 23 to 53. Healing, education, and soul work from when Chiron was first, actually. I guess I should have been at the top of the list because it went through Pisces 2011 to 2019, but it kicked off a 50-year cycle that goes to 2061. Neptune in Pisces is the big one around dreams and spirituality, a 165-year cycle This one spent 14 years in the sign, so 2011 to 2025 is coming up. But it kicks off a cycle that takes us all the way to 2189, which I don't know. I did just read that guru that lived to 256, but I don't know if I got any of them gurus in my crew here. So we are part of the root and the seed of this larger dream, this larger vision that Neptune and Pisces activated. And the biggest one is eras and ages. This is why I think it's the end of an era, is because the eras are considered to be 2,500 years. And we're moving into the Aquarian age. If there's any truth to it, kicking off around 2012. There's lots of theories, y'all, of which day and which year it kicked in. But we're in it. Just suffice to say, we're in it. We're in the transition of ages, the end of the Piscean age and the beginning of the Aquarian age, which is huge because they're very different. One is water, one is air, one is emotions, one is thinking and thoughts and ideas. So everything is shifting. This fall is facilitating a clearing that if we do it on the front end, then we will be greatly supported on the back end when we go to initiate anew. Remember, after Pisces is Aries, and that's when we birth something. The final full moon in the final sign is an annual completion, but eclipses have a bigger 20-year cycle that we need to consider. So in that regard, we're looking at fall harvest, a year of full moons, Aries to Pisces. Here we are. We are finishing one cycle and preparing to initiate a new cycle. So everything we're going to release on a personal annual basis needs to be run through the lens of the larger cycles that are in play within and around us. The Pisces full moon is best for releasing illusions and delusions, any ways that we've been unrealistic lately. It's also the best full moon to release self-sabotage, compulsiveness, addiction, martyrdom, and victim consciousness, to name a few. The full moon is illuminating where we may have to be more practical and present. This is a purification time of year, so healthy boundaries are vital as you integrate the year and assimilate your own personal harvest for 2024. Allow your imagination some space to connect to those creative solutions that are customized just for you, and renew your connection to both a spiritual and physical daily practice. This is not new or news to you, I'm sure, but even if you have been the most dedicated and consistent ever, every year this is an opportunity to freshen up the practice so you are more inspired and uplifted. If you need or want some help freshening up your practice, of course, reach out directly. We have classes and resources for all that. The energy this month supports you assessing your strengths and weaknesses and recommitting to balancing your soul work with your daily work, allowing the fragmented aspects of life to come into a cohesive whole, and focusing on the little things that make the grand vision of your life possible. With the rapid pace that this world is shifting, your time is much better spent on that which you deeply and truly value, not narcotized or distracted by nonsense and propaganda, nor giving in to emotional overwhelm or irrational fears. Instead of deluding yourself, delaying your decisions, or taking time outs with your phone, computer, TV, or the like, try to take some time to sit with your higher self in silent communion. Allow a conversation to evolve between yourself and Great Spirit. Intuition is like a muscle. You have to work it to gain strength. Trusting the guidance received during those quiet moments strengthens the connection to your own intuition. Keeping foremost in your mind that while the chaos and illusion swirls around you, you have the internal compass of the heart and your own intuition to rely on. And this is the month to fortify those connections, Ashe. So, deep breath. With any Pisces full moon, but certainly with the eclipses, let's break the 10 and 20-year cycles with this. Bigger than annual, bigger than right now. Let's think bigger. Release shame, blame, and guilt so you can embrace the value of the lesson in every experience. Release criticism, judgment, and fear so you can embrace compassion for others and patience with your own process. Release addiction to unobtainable perfection so you can embrace trusting your creative spirit and inherent beauty. We're ready to release petty distractions and victim consciousness so we can embrace our inner authority to direct our own lives. Okay, deep breath. This is huge. And this is Tuesday the 17th, when we will have the full moon burden burning with Yeye Tish and I, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. This is for her Patreon members who are on the second tier that pay $25 a month. You get 2 rituals for that $25. So I do recommend that one versus the $5 level, which only gets you the new moon money pouring, which is great. If that's where you need to start, please start there because you will want to do more by the time we get through with you. So we have been basically between the 2 weeks of the new moon to the full moon, and you all can start working on this for Tuesday. We're supposed to be writing down anything that irks you, anything that bothers you, anything that's upsetting your nerves. We're writing it down. I do black ink on black paper in a black jar because we want to flush it to the infinite void to be composted into new energy, to be useful, right? So start writing down all the things you want to get rid of. What's beautiful about the live ritual with Yeye is that we go deeper with everything that we have to clear in order to bring in the new. Now, right now, we've already had the Virgo new moon that activates a new rhythm and routine and a time of year when we get to go back to our own wholeness, when we get to integrate the 9 months of the year that we've just lived through and process and understand that. Because this is a new beginning of new routines and things, we might have to give up a few addictions and bad habits to get that new routine off the ground. So join us live on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And under there, I have put the replay of the Virgo Pisces nodes and eclipses call because that will really fill in some blanks. We had a wonderful night. It went kind of long, 74 minutes. We did go over an hour, but it's so worth it, y'all, for the divinations, for everything in there. It's so juicy. So check that out when you get a chance, and that'll give you more guidance on how to proceed that is more customized for you. And of course, those who register, even after the fact, if you register, I'll make sure you get your post-call goodies and your personal activations, which shows you where Virgo Pisces is for you. And in this case, we add Gemini Sag because they're all part of the same family. And where we are initiating and integrating in Virgo Pisces, it's pushing our Gemini Sag departments to grow, which means we got to grow in our thinking, we got to change our thinking, and we got to grow and change in our consciousness and what we believe to be true or possible. If we change those things and we actually make some moves and some real changes, then this new beginning of a new vision, of a new dream, of a new world, which we're also talking about a lot with Yeye, then that goes so much smoother when we integrate what we've learned and actually make room for learning something new. And to that end, for those of you who were going to that thank you page from the new moon money pouring and found that Yeye's site was down, I will mention again, it's going to be right back up in 2 or 3 days. We had a huge upgrade, which is necessary. You all understand we have to raise the bar because we're asking for $5 million to build this school. So we have to be ready with the foundational pieces that we're putting in place now so that the school can last forever, because that's what we're going for. This is Yeye's legacy that we are all contributing to. And it's a very big deal because there are not a lot of people out there teaching what she teaches or investing in our people, our young people, middle-aged, old people. We have all ages and stages in our crew here. But Yeye has created a space for every generation to do their work. And so we want to honor that. Now, on Wednesday the 18th, we have Mercury opposing Saturn. So right now, Mercury is in its tail end of its retrograde phase. This is really kind of interesting. It's integrating with Saturn and being challenged by Jupiter. So it's, again, do the work and change your consciousness. It's real simple. But this is still part of the retrograde process. Things won't shake out until after the 26th of September when Mercury moves into Libra. So in the meantime, we're still finishing up what got started with this process. Here, the opposition is between your thoughts and your reality or current responsibilities. It's also about your mental and physical getting integrated on some level. Okay, we want those working together, communicating, etc. Are you working too hard, causing mental or physical exhaustion? Are you too stuck in idea mode, delaying actions and actual commitments? It's time to take a realistic look at your life to see where you could change your mind and your reality would follow. You may find yourself asking what your truth and purpose really are, and you may be concerned about how to provide for your very basic essential needs and why you have been constantly limited in that way. Everything can seem bleak and depressing, but really it is just the universe's way of getting your attention and helping you to focus on what really matters. You're being pushed to think of new ways to function on a practical level. You may feel like leaving a mate or a partner at this time, but it's not really the best time to actually act on this impulse. Wait until this energy passes and give yourself some time to clear the negative thinking, which is actually coloring your judgment at this time. Deep breath. Finish up the retrograde and then make a decision. That's all I can say. If you feel this way in another week or two, then you can begin to plan releasing this person or situation in the healthiest, most compassionate way possible, so as not to create more karma than you will have to deal with later, okay? So deep breath. When we make choices to end certain situations in our lives, we can do it in a clean way that lets us walk away with no sticky icky. And we can do it a karmic way, which breaks things on the way out the door that causes us to have to do additional cleanup before we can start our new beginning. We don't want to do it that way. What this energy is best for is giving you the ability to see what is wrong and connect to a positive, realistic way of creating change for the better. If you are still unsure about what direction to take, this energy supports consulting a person you respect, usually someone older and/or with more experience, for guidance and support. Deep breath. Not only are me and Yeye available, but we both have resources and a whole team of experts that are part of our inner circle. So you reach out for whatever you need and we will find somebody for you. On the 19th is Thursday. Sun is going to trine Uranus. This energy is wonderful for a little self-examination and taking action on your own behalf. Take a close look at your own routines, home environment, work, or any other significant areas of your life. Reflect on the decisions that have brought you to this point. It is an apt moment to survey your surroundings and determine how to retain what serves you well while releasing what no longer aligns with your future path. This phase encourages organization and decluttering, addressing everything that requires attention or letting it go altogether. Ashe. While you may feel exceptionally practical or self-focused, it is actually a form of self-preservation, which is essential. Deep breath. Uranus is all about that individuality. Sun is sometimes your core identity, but it's really your energy and passion and the light that's guiding you. So this ease and grace of this trine is allowing you to wake up to that next level in some way. Now, on Friday the 20th, Sun is going to oppose Neptune. So here, remember, Saturn and Neptune are circling around each other really close, about to initiate some very big new cycles. So anyone that hits one hits the other. So we look at this one, like where Venus opposed Neptune is all about your relationships and finances. This Sun activation is more about you, the individual. And remember, any opposition requires that we find the balance in the middle. Often this can be a very confusing energy. You will be very sensitive to others and their needs, as well as how they relate to you and your own needs. Ooh, deep breath. You may want to withdraw and not voice your opinion just to avoid conflict, feeling like it wouldn't solve anything anyway. However, if and when you do not disagree openly, then people assume you agree, which creates more problems. You shouldn't give in to any temptation of being slick either. That will only attract more of the same to you. If you're feeling unsure of yourself or your position, you may think it's easier to give in to another person's demands when you really should stand up for yourself. Self-preservation is not selfish, it is necessary. So try to avoid playing the victim. Be honest and upfront with anyone demanding a confrontation at this time, that you would rather gather your thoughts and discuss things later, and by then this energy will have passed. And you will be able to articulate your side of things better. Be aware of any deception, both on your part and/or the part of others trying to deceive you. That's the Neptune effect. Your discernment is not its strongest under this influence, so it is best to be still and quiet until the energy passes. Take this time to do some spiritual inner work, Ashe. So that sun is lighting up from across the way. Basically your beliefs and your connection to spirit and how's that working. You know, some people have a basic practice, you know, it's just a little nod in the morning and they keep it moving. And then there's others that have hours of a practice, a daily practice, talking to their orishas and singing and chanting and everything we do. There's so much that could go into your daily practices. But if you don't even have anything going on and no way that you center yourself and talk to God and talk to your body every single day, then that is what I think this would be good for, is figuring out where to start there. And then Saturday the 21st, Mercury squares off with Jupiter. So opposing Saturn means we have to integrate some practical application stuff, but we also have to challenge our consciousness to grow out of its comfort zone into new territory. So we need to be believing something new post-retrograde, right? This is the activations that are happening at the end of Mercury retrograde after the process, giving us more information to go forward and make those choices and decisions once it comes out of shadow, which, like I said earlier, is after the 26th. That's next week. Here on this Saturday, the energy presents a challenge. It urges you to merge your individual perspective with the grander vision for your life. So basically, we need to think bigger, and Mercury can be very micro, thinking in the details. While it offers a fresh view of the broader perspective, you might find yourself less inclined toward the intricate details required to materialize. Okay, deep breath. Jupiter gets us all excited about a vision, and Mercury's like, hold up, we need the baby steps to get there. And we can get all caught up in the enthusiasm and the expansion and the possibilities and the potential. And some of y'all have gotten readings from me. What do I say? Potential don't pay no bills, honey. Every child of God has potential, but if it's not activated and it's not supported and it's not protected, then it can't serve in any way. It is more conducive for expanding consciousness and thinking innovatively, okay, outside the box. Yet, as you gain those insights, remain mindful of the necessary steps to transform your ideas into tangible realities. This activation serves as an opportunity for adjusting your course concerning your ideas. Okay, again, there's a little square, there's a movement to grow. What you're believing and what you're thinking are two different things right now, so let's get them together. It encourages receptivity to new learning or the arrival of vital information, another reason to pause and open to receive from your higher self. However, be aware that you will need to stabilize any new beginnings and possibly revisit overlooked details in your eagerness to embrace the newfound truths unveiled from within. Say, deep breath. Now, because Saturday is the 21st, Sunday is actual fall equinox, and when we will be doing the fire ceremony. The Soul Sisters Seasonal Circle gets together every 6 weeks for a fire ceremony to honor the turn of the wheel. We talk about the energetic support for the next 6 weeks, so it's like a little overview forecast rather than my little weekly. We do really juicy divinations for that 6 weeks to cover us, but we also pull cards for anyone that lasts till the end gets a card pulled for themselves. And all those messages that we pull for each of you is really for all of us. We all get a little nugget of truth in whatever messages come up at the end of the night. And it's just so beautiful. And at the moment, I don't want to jinx myself, but it looks like we're going to have great weather and I'll be outside for the fall equinox. Fire ceremony is getting earlier because sunset's getting earlier. So it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, as I said, for this week, I'm pulling out the yay links for the thank you page. And I'm pulling out Cook, Cure, and Conjure because both of those are going to be better in another week or a month. So a week for the new website, a month for the new class. That's going to run after cracking the ancestral code. So we really need to deal with that first. And we'll put those links back in the blog a little bit later when it's closer to getting it done. In the meantime, we're leaving the Virgo articles, of course, because it's still Virgo time. Spider Medicine is the medicine for September. The Mars replay is still good, but I'm only going to leave it here for another week or so, and then I'll bring it back when it's relevant. You know, like when it moves into Leo, I'm going to send you back here. When it actually retrogrades, I'm going to send you back here. When it goes direct, we're going to all listen again. Okay, and that's the thing about these wonderful audios is that we can go back to them when these activations actually happen and refresh our memory about what we're doing, okay? Even I need to do that. And of course, the usual housekeeping at the bottom. The Power Circle subscription is a way to support the site and get your astro reports each month and a bunch of bonus goodies. The Astro Tarot reading is my signature reading. It's like a 2-for-1 where we check in with your cycles and we use the tarot to ask about here and now. The Karmic Tools affiliate program is a way to get a little kickback for sharing my links, and I really encourage you all to do that who haven't done it before, and I'm so grateful for those of you who do it all the time. And if you're new to the community, then the Soul Sisters invitation video is at the bottom. It's only 19 minutes, but it does give you a little bit of my story, my core values, and how we roll around here. So that's always good to get a little heads up when you're just joining a new community. And we welcome all our newbies. Come on in, get acclimated. We do these calls once a month. We do the full and new moon every month. I have the Venus Circle, which is a way to stay on lock with your values and priorities. And after this year of integrating so much Mars, I might be adding a Mars circle at some point, because we do need a place and a space to consider our actions and choices and who we are and what we want, and go deeper into that. So I did make a workbook years ago. I think I could improve on it now and get a new workbook for Mars. And that's another thing. I've been just thinking about all the different workbooks I make, and if I could possibly, because I'm so about to customize, y'all. Oh my God. You know this, right? I love to give you the general information, but then I want you to know what it is for you, the individual, so that you can really apply what you learn from me. So the customized piece of everything I do is one of my things that I'm known for. And walking through with a customized guide for Venus and Mars would help recalibrate your sacred feminine and sacred masculine in a way that makes you more effective and makes life more rich and rewarding. So we love this. So I think I'm going to go deeper into making these books, and then seeing if there's a way that I can make a general one that I could publish for the general public that isn't customized, but just the information of like how to work with each planet. I don't know, y'all. Yaya's got her foot in my ass about publishing. So I have to find a way to start doing things that take my work to the next level as well. So I do welcome any suggestions for classes and things. I am thinking and dreaming about some one-offs, like working with the money houses or the sex houses, or any of the things that we care about, food, sex, and money, right? The things that are really important to us. We want to go narrow and deep, and I might be able to do some one-offs. I've talked to Yeye about doing a class on the Orishas and the planets, okay? Because I have found that running certain things through the Orisha filter gives you a whole different set of information that is still pretty deep and related to the planetary aspects. So we're dreaming about doing that around winter solstice. For those of you who are the ones that brought it up and want to do it, I think we're doing it for winter solstice or around winter solstice when we do our capstone from Cracking the Ancestral Code. So hold that vision. I don't know how it'll unfold, no promises, but that idea has been thrown out there. And I hate to admit this, but it's been a good year or so where we've talked about the astro activism class, which is my job to put a structure to. So that probably will come in 2025 when Yeye and I get together on that. And I think a big part of that will also be, again, I'm so focused on the individual, because I think if the individuals get it together, the globe will be okay. But Yeye's global. I love her social collective perspective on the energies. And she's psychic, so she channels a lot. You know, I'm pretty intuitive and I channel a lot too, but ooh, honey, she got me faded. She's amazing and always on point. And we all know the mixed blessing of being ahead of your time. You know, she calls it way ahead of the time that it actually happens. So in that regard, that's actually good for us, because it gives us time to prepare, because we can trust that channel of where that information came from. And she ain't been wrong yet, y'all. So for real, we need to stay tuned in. So yes, we're all dreaming about the next level, but during the fall harvest, all this stuff comes up, because now you're seeing what you have and what you need and what you've been able to build and what still needs more work. And that's the assessments that are really going on around here. And we've had a lot of big visions for quite a while, but we need the infrastructure, like the solid website that can handle the volume that Yeye has just activated and called in. I have some updates to do to my own website because of the expansion that's happened just by me working with her these last few years. So thank you all for your love and your patience while we all rise together and upgrade together. This is what eclipses bring, the chaos of the break to realign. Okay, we're going to interrupt that flow so that we can reset it in a better way, in a more conscious way. And we're so supported to do that, y'all. So thank you for being part of the community, for showing up, for doing your work, for being present and conscious, for course correcting and self-correcting along the way. We bow to you. We honor you for doing the work. We can make all kinds of suggestions around here, but if you don't take it to heart and do something with it, then it's just gathering information. It's not really embodied wisdom. And we want you to have that embodied wisdom where you get to apply what you learn from us in your everyday life in a way that makes your life better. Ashe. I love it. So join us when and where you can. Reach out directly when you need to. And have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.